and welcome to my channel, Ginger Ninja JK's Movie Reviews. I am Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're a new viewer, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for sticking with me as I go through the ABCs of horror. Every week I choose a different letter in the alphabet starting with A all the way through to Z and a movie starting with that letter. This week we're on to the letter H. So let's see what we've got in store. Okay, so this week we're on to the letter H and we're doing House of a Thousand Corpses. This one came out in 2003. It was directed by Rob Zombie. It stars Sid Haig, Karen Black, Bill Moseley, Tom Towles, Rainn Wilson, Chris Hardwick, Erin Daniels, Walton Goggins, and of course, Sheri Moon Zombie. We're looking at my DVD copy here. It's got a whole bunch of special features on it, which I will touch on in a second. Actually, no, I'll go through them now. As you can see here, you've got an interactive menu, and each menu has a character from House of a Thousand Corpses, Sid Haig or Baby, played by Sheri Moon Zombie, talking to the actual camera. It's a really fun and very interactive menu setup. Really do enjoy it. Okay, so just so you're aware, we will be just discussing the plot and spoilers, so if you haven't seen this movie, be warned. Now, the plot involves two young couples that take a misguided tour onto the back roads of America in search for a local legend known as Dr. Satan. Soon, they're beset upon by a bizarre and sadistic family of psychotic people. Okay. Now, I want to talk a bit about Rob Zombie for a second. I was a huge fan of White Zombie. When they first came out, I think I heard their first song probably back in 1993, so a long time ago. And about a decade before this movie even came out. So I was quite a big fan of White Zombie, and even when Rob Zombie went on his own way to make his own music, his music as well. So when I heard about this, I was heaps excited. Like, this guy who is a great musician is now making horror movies. Fantastic, what's not to like? So I really did have high hopes for this film. And to be honest, I think mostly, very distracting in the background there, but I think mostly he's hit the nail on the head with most parts of the horror genre. I won't touch on any of his other films, but with this one, I will go into some of the sequels and basically touch upon them very general. But like I said, had high hopes for this, and I think it did meet most of those hopes, most. Okay, so I mentioned the DVD features with Captain Spaulding, Sid Haig, and Baby Firefly, played by Sheri Moon Zombie. Really fun and really can't recommend enough. They obviously put a lot of work into the DVD as well, thinking about it, so props to them. The cast itself, as you can see, Sid Haig in the background, is phenomenal. You've got an all-star cast of horror icons, horror fans. In fact, in the special features, there's an interview with some of the cast members, including Bill Moseley, who is a huge horror fan. And he was so excited to do this, and you feel that in his character. And that's what I mean by the cast is great. They got people who wanted to make horror films. Like, it's made by Rob Zombie, who loves horror, grew up with horror, so you can feel that in this film. Another thing I liked about this is the Dr. Satan reveal. It starts out a legend. You never know if it's actually going to be true, because when you meet these psychopaths, it's like everything's going balls to the wall crazy. But then the reveal near the end, it's really good, really well done, and I thoroughly enjoyed I guess it's kind of a twist, but not a twist. Really good. Now, Rob Zombie does have an eye for horror. I don't think anyone can deny that. Even himself has said it. He grew up with horror. He loves the horror genre. He's got a totally unfettered imagination when it comes to horror as well. And that does come through in this film, which he wrote and directed. But it was his first feature film. So as with anything when you first start, obviously there are going to be things which, that stand out and aren't as good as they could be. And I believe he has actually said that himself in some interviews. When he looks at this film, he sees the flaws in it. He sees what he could have done better. And I think moving on to that, On the sequel to this, The Devil's Rejects, I think he did take it to the next level. He really did. And made whatever mistakes he made in this, he fixed and improved upon in the sequel. So that's a good thing. But in this one, there's some really bad editing, which kind of glosses over a few things in the plot, creates a few plot holes which take away from the movie. I think there's an overuse of random cutaways, and the negative, it flips to a negative sort of view, and these feel misplaced at times. Like they didn't really need to be there, but they're just put in there either to lengthen out a scene or to make it sort of feel uneasy in something, I don't know, but they just feel out of place. For a horror film, it does lack a bit of impact. As I said, when I first heard about this and when I found out it was coming out, I was heaps excited. When I first watched it, I thought, wow, this is really good. Looking back, nearly 20 years later, I can see, like, I was probably looking at it with rose-colored glasses, but there are a few things. It does lack that horror impact. It could have been a lot more brutal. I don't think it was as brutal as I initially thought it was. And it does certainly lack the impact it used to have on me. The only other real con I can think of is the character Baby Firefly. Her laugh is annoying. Like, it is just so annoying. And I get, Sherry Moon Zombie this was her first acting role, as far as I'm aware, and she does pretty much a really good job, except for that laugh. It is so annoying. So overall, it's a good film. I enjoy it. It does have its moments. It's got a fantastic cast. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. So there you have it. That's my review of House of a Thousand Corpses. It is a really good movie. I highly recommend you watch it. So stick around. Next week, I'll be doing another movie in the ABCs of horror. If you haven't already, please do give this video a thumbs up. And if you're a new viewer, don't forget, consider subscribing, hitting that bell. That way you don't miss out on all my future ABCs of horror movies. And check out some of my other ones from the past. Obviously, you can click the links in the description and on the screen to take you to them. But thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.